Our Supreme Court has been overturned like 87% of the time, one of the most overturned courts in the country. So it's time for a change. 87%.
Holy moly.
Actually, in his very last decision, Antonin Scalia spent time making fun of the Kansas Supreme Court. So we have some room to do better and choose better people. And we think everybody in Kansas having a voice in that will make great improvement.
Yeah, good luck on that. I hope you're successful. That the 87% is pretty.
It's terrible.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, JD, I mean, New Mexico is a very different state than Kansas, but there's a lot of good stuff I know that you guys are doing. So maybe share with us what you've been doing and what do you guys plan for the next year?
Absolutely, David. So we just wrapped up our Protect Prosperity Tour, which we were happy that you attended a number of our events and you were there with us. So, this was really just kind of building our brand in New Mexico.
Americans are capable of achieving extraordinary things when they have the freedom and opportunity to do so. This is American Potential.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the American Potential Podcast. I'm your host, David Fromm. Today, we're doing the next installment of our 50 Stars, 50 Stories program, where we talk to state leaders about their states. And we're talking about the 7 states that joined the union in January. So maybe you can guess when you play at home what some of these states might be. One is the 49th state. One is the birthplace of cars. One has the oldest state capital. Another is the Peach State. The other is the 3rd smallest state in the nation. One is the breadbasket of America, and one has 5 national parks. So hopefully, as we go through the trivia, you'll be able to figure out what those all are. So in order to help us, we are joined by Americans of Prosperity Kansas State Director Elizabeth Patton and a regional director, and then JD Marmion, who's our Americans of Prosperity New Mexico Deputy State Director. So welcome, guys. I'm so glad you joined us.
Oh, thank you for having us. We're so excited.
All right. Well, it might not be after we get done. Let's get down to it. I don't want to expose your lack of knowledge about your states, but maybe that'll happen. We are a free market group, and however it falls.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, actually, to start out, so how long have you lived in Kansas, Liz?
So I lived in Kansas for 18 years.
Oh, so you should have pretty deep knowledge.
I mean, I should. And technically, I am a native Kansan because I was born there in Fort Riley. So even though I lived there,
you've worked for elected officials and all this, so that you should have pretty good knowledge.
I mean, I should, theoretically.
JD,
we'll find out.
You're a lifelong New Mexican, aren't you?
I am. I have a family that has a lineage that goes all the way back to 1600s, 1500s. Yeah.
Well, yeah, with the Santa Fe area, right?
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Las Vegas, New Mexico area as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Gosh, my ancestors came over in like the early 1900s. So, I mean, yeah, we way.
Yeah.
All right, let's get down to it. So which state joined as a free state on January 29th, 1861, right before Lincoln's inauguration?
Oh, I want a buzzer. Kansas.
Yeah, there you go. You just knock on the thing. Kansas, you're right. All right, which state joined in January 6, 1912?
New Mexico.
Excellent. Ding, ding. What state's official nickname is the Constitution State? I'll give you a hint. It's also the 3rd smallest in America.
What's on the docket? Let's see.
People from the state are called nutmeggers.
I don't think that helps. Delaware? I don't know. 3rd smallest state.
Nope, it is Connecticut.
I was thinking.
The nutmegger thing's really weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. So which state got its nickname from the brutal free state versus slave state fights?
Kansas.
Exactly. What do they call it? Like Bleeding Kansas or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Which state became the 49th state on January 3rd, 1959, after Dwight Eisenhower signed a proclamation?
I don't know what our options are. Gosh.
Think of the latest states to enter the union.
I feel like I should know this. Especially because Dwight D. Eisenhower is from Kansas. And,
Yep.
I should know my Eisenhower trivia.
I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
It's the biggest state.
Texas.
Nope.
No. Alaska.
That's right. Yep. Isn't it crazy that it just became a state in 1959?
That is.
I guess it's not as close because I'm old and now I feel like it's like right around the corner, but no. All right. Which state has the oldest capital city in the United States?
New Mexico.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And home of JD Marmion, Santa Fe. was founded in 1610. Now, Boston is the second longest, founded in 1630, but Santa Fe beats it out by 20 years. That's pretty, I didn't know that. That's cool.
We have the oldest church and the oldest house in America as well.
Really?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's a lot of legends with the oldest house as well, saying that it's haunted. I don't believe that, though.
That's probably true.
That's pretty amazing.
I think Liz's office in Wichita is haunted, actually.
Yeah.
I do too, actually.
You were there. Yeah. It's, there's some mysteries.
Wow, we might have to do another episode on haunted
offices.
That's right. It was what is the dumb waiter that was there?
Yeah,
something going on with that,
and all the beef jerky got stolen.
Yes.
You know,
I have to be
the beef jerky.
I have to be honest with you. It was me. I ate all the beef jerky.
Right.
Thank you.
Which state is home to both Los Alamos, which is the birthplace of the atomic bomb, and the White Sands Missile Range?
New Mexico, and I've been to both. It's an amazing place.
Nice.
Yes.
I would like to say that I went hunting at the White Sands Missile Base a few weekends ago.
Did you do orcs?
nice.
Orcs, yep.
How was the meat?
I did not get any of the meat. It's actually a friend of mine, actually former show host Jeff Crank, now congressman.
Yep.
He went there and he had the tag for it. It was called a broken horn hunt. So you can only shoot with a broken horn, but this place is massive.
Yes.
You're in the middle of nowhere and it's massive, and it's where they test missiles and ordnance.
That's
Now you can't go everywhere. You're not allowed to pick up anything, but they in the 1960s, the Interior Department for the states, had an idea to bring in these orcs, they're like really big antelope kind of with really long, pointy antlers. And they imported them from Africa, and there's no natural predators. So there's like 2,000 of them. And so they do a few hunts every year, and it kind of keeps the population down. The reason they do a broken horn one where you're allowed to get a tag for that is that actually if one has a broken horn, it gives it a weird advantage when they're going up against the other non-broken horn ones. So they want to kind of call them.
That's interesting.
I used to work with New Mexico Game and Fish, and that was all the wildlife that we currently have in New Mexico was reintroduced because by the 1920s, a lot of it was overhunted. At one time, we even had grizzly bears in New Mexico.
Really?
The last was shot in Pecos, New Mexico in 1925. They even wanted to reintroduce grizzly, and I thought that was a terrible idea.
Yeah, that sounds about as good an idea as it's all like the wolf reintroduction in some of these places.
It hasn't been successful. Yeah.
All right, good. All right, which state gave America the Ford Motor Company and the assembly line?
That would be Michigan, right?
Yes.
Yes. The Motor City.
Yes, that's Michigan. So, it's an interesting fact. There were 12 investors when Ford got started, and by the time it sold the first Ford Model A, the company had spent almost all of its $28,000 cash investment. But in less than 3 months, it made that back in a profit of $37,000.
Nice.
So, yeah. Talking about Connecticut, which Ivy League university founded in 1701 is located in Connecticut? One of the big Ivy Leagues.
Right.
It's not Harvard. It would be, is that Yale's?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yale was actually, goes back to the 1640s when colonial clergymen wanted to create a local college modeled after European liberal arts education. And in 1701, Connecticut chartered the Collegiate School, which was renamed Yale College in honor of Welsh merchant Elihu Yale. There you go.
I love it.
Yeah. Now, JD's ancestors were already here. They could have traveled to Connecticut and still gone.
That's why he knew all about this.
Yeah, my folks are back in Norway, raiding the British Isles or something. I don't know.
Yes.
Okay, which state has the highest percentage of married couples with children and the lowest divorce rate in America?
Utah.
Yes. You're all over that one.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had a feeling.
Which Great Lake does not touch Michigan? It's kind of hard.
That is hard.
Lake Erie?
Nope.
Oh.
Superior?
Nope. Think Canada name.
I told you I should have studied for this. You know?
Well, you didn't know that Michigan was going to be on the...
My kids were here who are actively learning geography in 5th grade. They would know the answer and
That's
be able
good.
to tell you. Yeah.
It is Lake Ontario.
Oh,
Okay. All right.
There you go. All right. What state is home to the National Security Agency, or NSA's largest data center?
Virginia.
Nope.
Mm.
The 1.5 billion facility is 1 million square feet, and 100,000 of that is the data center.
Alaska. No, I'm kidding.
That was a good guess, but it's not. But it has a lot of space. Let's just say there's a lot of room.
It's a lot of room. So it's not Connecticut.
Yep. And they have a lot of married people.
Utah.
Yes, there you go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right. Which state is home to the geographical center of the contiguous 48 states?
Kansas.
Yes. You know what town?
I don't.
No, that's just bonus. Lebanon, Kansas.
Okay.
Yeah. So, which state is the highest? Which state is the second highest producer of oil and natural gas?
New Mexico.
Right.
Yes.
You don't always understand that, but because of the Permian Basin
Basin.
shared with Texas, it makes New Mexico the second largest producer of oil and gas.
Have you ever driven that stretch?
No.
We did just recently when we were in Hobbs. It was really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's really some fascinating parts of New Mexico. I did drive from the White Sands Missile Base up through to Albuquerque, and you go through some places where you get no phone reception, and they did surface, detonations of atomic bombs nearby, not where the road
Trinity
is.
site. I think we were talking about it. They open it up once a year, and I still have not been there. I want to experience that.
I have been to a place in Nevada where they tested atomic weapons on the surface.
Very
We
cool.
weren't allowed to get off the bus, but it was pretty fascinating. It was like, wow, this is
That's when they had the nuclear cities, right? They would have the whole cities.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, you can kind of see some of the remnants. It was pretty cool. All right, which state has no income tax or sales tax and pays every resident an annual dividend just for living there? It's called the PFD.
Vermont?
Nope. I will give you a hint. It is the reason they can pay the permanent fund
Alaska.
dividend. Yep, is because of their oil production. Yep, Alaska. It's actually in their constitution, which is really, really interesting. It was part of the negotiation of it becoming a state. So technically, all of the residents own, the resources of the state. So that's why they're paid for it.
That's amazing.
It's actually causing a lot of problems fiscally for them. So there's a reckoning coming, and the new governor will probably have to deal with that. All right. The Sunshine State is Florida, but which state actually gets more hours of sun each year?
New Mexico.
That's right.
We hardly get any rain these days.
Yeah, I mean, what is over 310 days of sun? It's pretty amazing. Yeah, it's a really, really beautiful. On average, it gets 3,415 hours of sun per year, but Arizona has the most at 3,806. Florida only gets 2,927 hours per year. So a little false advertising there.
I know, right? No, they should fix that.
Yeah, what state has more active pilots, private airplanes, and more float planes per capita than the rest of the U.S.?
Alaska.
Yes. That's always weird to go to Alaska, like how often you fly places. So
You have to.
yeah, you hear about people dying every now and again. Like, number there different like elected officials have just over the last 50 years. There's just a lot of stories. But yeah, you fly everywhere. I've flown some pretty small planes in Alaska.
That's amazing.
It is pretty amazing. What state produces more tart cherries than anywhere else?
Connecticut?
Nope,
No. Tart cherries.
Is it in the Southwest region?
it is not. The United States produces between 275 and 300 million pounds of tart cherries each year, which is about 75% of the total cherry crop for the United States. This state produces 75%.
Is this a state we've already spoken about?
It is.
All right.
Maybe they drove the tart cherries to the market in a car.
That doesn't. Oh, Michigan.
Yes. What state produces the most seafood?
Alaska.
Yep. Alaska. I had the good fortune in late August to go fishing up in Alaska, caught a whole bunch of different fish, especially salmon. Nice. Yep. And they provided us, they actually shipped us the seafood back. And so I still have this frozen, fresh seafood.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
My brother-in-law used to spend summers canning fish in Alaska, and he would make a ton of money for, a couple months, work hard, and then come home. But he's like, that was a trip.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. There's some pretty interesting stories, some pretty cool things that people still do up in Alaska for sure. All right. Kansas is the nation's leader in producing which crop that is often associated with the Midwest?
Wheat.
Wheat, right. Grain. Which famous fictional character grew up on a Kansas farm before being transported somewhere over the rainbow?
Dorothy.
Right. In The Wizard of Oz. A fun fact is Gone with the Wind and Mr. Smith Goes to Washington were both released the same year as The Wizard of Oz.
I didn't.
It's got a lot of iconic movies all at once.
That's a good year.
JD, you're a big movie guy. I didn't know that. Maybe you did.
Well, we went to the museum when we were in Wichita. That what is that museum? It's like a kind of a world museum, or
was it the Cowtown Museum?
It wasn't that one. It was by the office, but they had a bunch of
the old world museum. Yes, I know.
Oh,
yeah,
they
back in
have
Old Town. Yep.
So many amazing, artifacts and history from Kansas.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys. You guys did great on the trivia. Like, there were barely any that you didn't get.
David,
really good.
We didn't even study.
I mean, that's what we hire people. We employ people who are just innately smart and well-versed in their states and other states. You had to pinch it. I mean, Connecticut, come on, really? But, so before we close out, I'd love to hear about, Liz, what are you guys working on in what's been happening in Kansas, and what do you guys, have coming up?
Yeah, Kansas is just right on the cusp of being just one of the best states in the whole country, but we're so close. We need to get a lot better on our energy cost. So we have a bill coming up to help lower energy costs and for the long term for Kansas. And also looking at just affordability overall, lowering the cost of living with affordable housing, and just also making sure our state budgets just get out of control. Ours has as well. So looking at some smart reductions to that to eliminate waste. And if we do that, that will lead the way to allowing for our tax buy down to keep working and give people a pay raise right away. So the more the government gets efficient, the more Kansans benefit from that. So working on that. And then our constitutional amendment in the primary. It is really important. Kansas is the only state, it should have been on your trivia. Kansas is the only state where the attorneys, the Bar Association, controls who is nominated to the Supreme Court. And so we are the worst version of Missouri. It is dumb. It's kind of like the, fox guarding the hen house a little bit. There's only 7,000 attorneys in Kansas, and they control an entire branch of government. So there's an amendment in August in Kansas, and we are asking folks to vote to move to direct elections, more transparent, more accountable. Our Supreme Court has been overturned like 87% of the time, one of the most overturned courts in the country. So it's time for a change. 87%.
Holy moly.
Actually, in his very last decision, Antonin Scalia spent time making fun of the Kansas Supreme Court. So we have some room to do better and choose better people. And we think everybody in Kansas having a voice in that will make great improvement.
Yeah, good luck on that. I hope you're successful. That the 87% is pretty.
It's high. It's terrible.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Well, JD, New Mexico is a very different state than Kansas, but there's a lot of good stuff I know that you guys are doing. So maybe share with us what you've been doing and what what do you guys plan for the next year?
Absolutely, David. So we just wrapped up our Protect Prosperity tour, which we were happy that you attended a number of our events and you were there with us. So, this was really just kind of building our brand in New Mexico. New Mexico's a beautiful state with so much opportunity. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the best policies, and we don't always have the best leaders. So that's what we are currently engaged in is really getting our brand awareness out there and fighting some of these bad policies, and hopefully eventually getting some good candidates in. We have currently one of our state congressional seats is going to be open pretty soon. So we're looking at finding a great candidate that's going to support better policies for New Mexico. So lots of opportunity in New Mexico, and I love our team, and I think we're going to turn it around.
Yeah, I think that there's a real opportunity to try to, make New Mexico truly the land of enchantment. So what everybody says, it's what New Mexico claims to be, but unfortunately, it's not for a lot of its residents, and I think that's because of poor leadership who have an odd, ultra progressive agenda that isn't taking care of the need. I mean, second largest oil producer in this nation. There's money flowing in, and yet it's not. There's still high taxes. There's overregulation. There's so many things. Schools is the worst schools in the nation, but it's beautiful. It's got such great culture and so many great people. So I think that there's a real opportunity there when leadership and the policies they are promoting are disconnected from the people, I think that's where groups like AFP have a real opportunity to kind of restore balance and sanity. I think, that's how about we take less people's money, and how about we let businesses grow, and how about we don't overregulate it? I mean, there was I think it was like 22 bills in the legislature last year that would all have further regulated the energy industry, when it's like, this is the golden goose. Like, right. Fortunately, we were successful in beating back almost nearly all of them.
Well, we're lucky in New Mexico. We have an excellent state director in Sarah Hatemi. She brings a lot of vision to that place, and she's embraced New Mexico as she's a New Mexican now. So we're lucky, and we also realize that we got that fight coming, but we're going to change it.
Well, it is an enchanting state. I can say that from experience. I spent a lot of time there and stuff. So, we can aspire to sometimes have the great policies that places like Kansas, Supreme Court notwithstanding. But obviously, in our organization, Kansas has always had a special place, and we've always had really strong leadership in Kansas. And for AFP, it was our first ever AFP chapter.
Our very first
little
chapter.
AFP trivia, and it's always had strong leadership, and none stronger than Liz. So, well, guys, I really appreciate you joining us for a fun time and some informative conversation.
This was great, David. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Well, hey, folks, if you like this episode and would like to stay connected with the podcast, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel by following us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And always remember, liberty and freedom are easily taken for granted. Don't take them for granted. Go out there and defend freedom and liberty. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Thank you for listening to American Potential. You may listen to more stories from Americans working every day to expand freedom and opportunity in their communities by visiting AmericanPotential.com.